Hello everyone. So I'm going to show you what I have described in this article. The wearable integration. It has got amazing possibilities for the communities, for the schools, for the organizations, for the healthcare insurance providers, etc., etc. We can build a health-driven, smarter world by doing the proper integration. So first, let me just show you some of the aspects of this. First thing is you should have an ID with your wearable device. Now, there are many possibilities. In this example, I'm just showing you how I have integrated the data from Fitbit. It may not be Fitbit at all. It can be any device. That's number one point. And secondly, assume that an organization is coming to us and asking whether you can provide some devices like Fitbit, which can then be integrated. That's also possible. So for now, let's take this example. You can log into the dev.fitbit.com. You can register an application and register your device. And once you register it, you will get the client ID, client secret, etc., which you need to note and you need to use in your application. So let's start. The first thing that I'm going to do is let me show you the sample code that I have written to connect to Fitbit. So it's written in Scala, and what the program does is it connects to the Fitbit URL, gets the activities that I have performed on particular day or range of days. You can see the parameter is base date and the end date, and then put that data into a Kafka topic called realtime.test. So let me run this particular code. As you can see, the APIs normally use R2 based on OpenID. So you need to copy this address, go to the URL and paste that address just like Twitter or Facebook, and then you can see that it will return you a callback code because the callback URL is being configured. And come back to the place where you executed the code and paste that token that is returned back from Fitbit in this case. The moment you do that, you can now see that the API is retrieving the data, and I have given the parameters from November 12th to November 19th, and it is counting the number of steps that I have taken, which directly went from my device to the Fitbit cloud, and we are now getting that data. While we retrieved this data, we have pushed that into a Kafka queue as well. So, to show you the example, what I'm going to do is let's run a Spark code which is now going to take the data and put it into the Minio cloud storage. The reason why we selected cloud storage is it's not expensive as HDFS. It doesn't have the bottlenecks like HDFS, disk balancing, etc., etc. It's not costly, and the modern data lakes are based on object stores or S3. So, we are using Minio as our cloud storage, and we are going to run this Spark program and let the Spark program start listening to the real-time test queue or the topic in Kafka where we are going to publish the data one more time. So while I started Spark, I'm coming back here and executing the code one more time and then getting the token from the site that we have done just now. Each time you'll have to take a token, and if it is a mobile application, you will have the facility to extend it without expiry, and then paste it. and let's look at what is happening here. As you can see, the Spark is now reading the data. While the data is streaming, it will be starting the reading, and you can see that Spark is reading the data batch by batch, and we are using the latest 2.4 addition to Spark structured streaming. And I'm closing Spark, and let's now log on to Minio. And as you can see, my Minio server is running, and we have a beautiful UI for Minio that's called Minio browser. And what I did is, in the Spark program, we copied or put the data into the bucket called percipient CX. Look at that. All the data from the wearable device now landed in our store. Next, what we are going to do is, we are going to create a Hive table pointing to this particular data. You can see the bucket name is percipient CX, and it has got all these files. So let me go back here, and then let me start Hive in another window, right? And if there are any tables existing, I'm going to delete that table, right? So show tables. There is my activities, right? So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to drop that table, drop table my activities. Good. And then let us create a table, and look at the command. Create table my activities, two values which we have retrieved from our wearable device, and we are pointing to the S3 storage powered by Minio. It has created the table my activities. Of course, you can query it from Hive by typing select star from my activities, and you should see all the data. You can see the duplicate rows. Why? Because I have executed it 2 times, and each time I have appended the data. But you got the concept here. But that's not fun, and when you write the queries on Hive, Hive has got a limitation that it will be converting each and every query to MapReduce, and it takes a lot of time. So comes Uniconnect, and we have got the Uniconnect servers running, and in Uniconnect we have configured the connectivity to S3. So let's look at the Uniconnect client, and what I'm going to do is, let me execute the same query from Uniconnect now. You got the data. There might be many companies who are doing this kind of stuff and then exporting this data to a particular company or not. But let's go a little bit beyond that. What happens if, suppose, there is a device ID also available in this particular data, and each device ID is given to each customer of the company, or the health insurance provider is giving to each and every policy holder a particular device ID, and the mapping between the device ID and the actual policy holder is in your transactional RDBMS database. No providers can get that data. Why? Because that data is belonging to the company. But by this particular platform and by Uniconnect, you have now the ability to join the data with your transactional systems. Like, let's say you want to join the data from Hive and MySQL, and let's take just 10 rows. Look at that query. So some data from the device, wearable device, is coming to Hive, and I want to join that with other data so that The customer 360 screen can now display how many steps I have taken last week or today, and you get the result. You can run any analytics. You can just copy this particular query and you can put it into your reporting tool or dashboarding tool to get the nice dashboards. You can run machine learning, a nearest neighbor algorithm, to find out low, medium, high runners in your community, and thus you can increase the motivation to do more activities. The health insurance providers can give a subsidy. The companies can encourage the people who are taking care of their health in a consistent way. The possibilities are amazing. Thank you for listening.